Hey guys, it's your boy MKS here, back here with part 4 of International Dyslexia Day. The fourth final part. Obviously, it's a day. Well, I say obviously, it's a day later than planned, or it's not. It's no longer technically International Dyslexia Day, although it still is October, which I hope to. It still is October, which I hope to continue to work on my plans to empower both Black and stroke or dyslexic people. Yesterday, I hoped to focus solely on dyslexic empowerment, but anyway, for the rest of the month I hope to focus back again to both Black and dyslexic empowerment as much as I can. So anyway, I hope you enjoy this video, especially members of the dyslexic community and supporters, family, friends of dyslexics and whatnot, those interested in dyslexia. Basically, this video is especially for you. And yesterday I was saying Henry Winkler is someone who I would think of as dyslexic of the day. I want to have a profile as often as possible to have like dyslexic of the day whenever I can remember it and get around to it. And I was going to change it to Damon John, who's both African American, i.e. obviously Black, and dyslexic, but I've decided to stick to Henry Winkler for today, and hopefully think of Damon John tomorrow for dyslexic of the day. So my dyslexic of the day today is still Henry Winkler. So I hope people out there who are interested in dyslexia will find out about him and his work. Anyone who remembers Happy Days, he was in that as the Fonz, as I mentioned yesterday. So anyway, yeah, so this is the fourth and final part, ideas number 31 to 40, so for dyslexia empowerment. So here goes. Number 31, I was going to say this in the intro, but I didn't want the intro to be too long. There are three sort of things. So the first three are going to be focused on those things I hope for dyslexics to do to be empowered so that we can become financially independent. Now, by financially independent, I don't mean having loads and loads of money necessarily. I just mean having enough so we don't rely on benefits. One of my sisters described it as, she said, being financially independent means you don't need a boss. What I mean by that is, I think that's the way she said it anyway, but what I mean by financially independent is someone who doesn't rely on other people being forced to give them money, if you like. So someone who has a job or a business or learns to invest or has enough money through YouTube, obviously that would be a job, I suppose you could say, or basically has a job or a career where they have enough to live on and they don't need state benefits. That's what I mean by financially independent. So with that being said, I'd love for us to set up our own independent schools which teach us towards our strengths. I know I mentioned this before, but and also teach us skills for the future that we're going to need in the future, whether that's in running a business, investing, and maybe even improving our YouTube channels, which I know I need a lot of. Number 32, I would love for us to actually I got the order wrong there, typical, but number 32, I would love for us to I actually meant to say in number 31, and this was supposed to be 31, but anyway, I'll mix up the orders. But I would love for us to learn how to build our own businesses and invest together and learn from each other and like network together, pool money and resources together. I think about like fears that people might have in setting up, or what stops people from setting up a business might be fear, fear of the unknown, lack of knowledge, lack of capital, lack of experience, or things like that. If you can think of any reasons why people wouldn't want to set up a business, I'd love to know in the comment section. Like for me, I know I'm not a very hard-working person. Also, probably I'm quite anxious and fearful. Whereas obviously other people have their own reasons why they won't want to set up a business. But I was thinking that by networking together, we can learn from each other. So all those sorts of things like fear of the unknown, a dyslexic person who set up their own business already could talk about how to overcome those fears, what they've experienced, and they could teach from their experiences and things like that. So it wouldn't be like so much the unknown, because they would have known what to. Also, like lack of capital, by coming together, we'd be able to pool our money and resources together, and things like that. So I think we solve most of those problems: fear of the unknown, lack of capital, lack of knowledge, lack of experience, and so on and so forth. Like we'd be able to share that information with each other and things like that. Although some people might say it'd be a pain in the neck, like some dyslexic people like myself will probably be, or many of us will probably be quite a pain in the neck to work with. So there are probably some sort of arguments that like not every dyslexic person can set up their own business, but I think it'd be cool if as many of us as possible. Me personally, I'm not that materialistic, but I would love to set up a social enterprise which helps people in developing nations and also my fellow dyslexics. Number 33, I beg your pardon. Also, social media, that's another idea thing. So those are three things: having our independent schools, learning to build businesses together, and investing and things like that, and having our own social media, and basically subscribing to each other and supporting each other generally. I think that would be a pretty cool way to become financially independent, as I've described. Sorry, I'm not doing very well here. As I've described in point number 31. Number 34. Again, I hope as often as possible I'll do like dyslexic of the day. Tomorrow I hope to focus on a profile of Damon John. So I hope to promote. In doing so, hopefully, I'll as well as inspiring other dyslexics to be inspired by those people, and giving confidence and stuff like that, inspiring their confidence and whatnot. So basically, dyslexics to get inspired. I also hope that it will help to goodness me, what's wrong with my vocabulary today? It will raise the profile of dyslexic people, so people will find out about Damon John, and maybe other dyslexics could support his business and support what he does, like buy his books or check him out on YouTube or just support him in whatever way possible. Again, Henry Winkler for today is one I'm choosing for dyslexic of the day. Hopefully on Wednesday, I'm giving a bit away here, but I hope to cover Barbara Corcoran. So it's W for Women Wednesdays. So she's a woman who can inspire other dyslexics, including girls, obviously, to achieve their full potential, hopefully, or at least, reach their full potential. That's what I hope they'll achieve. Number 35, I would love to hear from other dyslexics about what your goals are. Also, I know I'm repeating some previous ideas and thoughts and stuff like that, but I would love for us to have groups that can travel together, discuss things on Zoom, connect together on YouTube and other forms of social media, support each other's projects, plans, goals, aims, objectives, and that sort of thing. Celebrate successes, historical successes of dyslexics, but also look at how we can help more in the future, like more dyslexic people in the future to do well. And that sort of thing. So hopefully discussing on Zoom that we can discuss each other's experiences and talk about resources and things where we can help each other, again, to reach our full potential, goals, aims, objectives, and that sort of thing. Number 36, again, I know I'm repeating myself, but I would love for us to travel to Italy together and showcase what we can do to benefit Italian football. That's part of my project. I hope for us to show what we can do for Italian football. Number 37, also for Celtic. Number 38, also for former colonies, people from colonized countries or basically emerging markets, what we can do to help them to achieve their full potential and things like that. Number 39, as ever, I'd love to read other people's comments, like who you think could be a dyslexic of the day, or what dyslexic inspires you the most. I know I could have probably asked that in the questions in the live chat. I don't know if people check that out, like what questions I ask in the Q&A and whatnot. But I asked, do you think the Dyslexic Billionaires Network could be set up? And if so, do you think it could work? And if so, do you think it could make the world a better place? Possibly for dyslexics and other people generally, which I always hope to do, like make the world better for as many people as possible. Obviously, as I say, for October, I'm mainly focusing on the empowerment of dyslexics and the Black community in the UK and around the world, with a focus more for African Americans in February. And number 40, I hope to, I say by the end of this month, I hope I would have empowered as many dyslexics as possible. And I'd love to know what you think. And sorry if I'm waffling, but I'm sure there's probably some ideas I forgot about. I modeled up the order, I know, from the beginning, but I did want to say like those three sort of things about becoming independent. So can't remember which order it is now. Starting up our own businesses, having academic or our own schools, basically independent schools. Maybe it should be in that order, actually, the opposite order. But and also supporting each other on social media, like subscribe to each other's channels and things like that. Anyway, I'm out. Peace and love.